2020. It's not what any of us ever expected at all. Way back in January, before we knew that COVID-19 was going to be such a serious concern, I had a stress fracture in my foot, so I wasn't running at all. By March, my foot was feeling better, and I was trying to run a walk in preparation for training for the Ragnar Northwest Passage Relay. This relay is in July, and I captain a team for Coach Leslie every year, and I have for the past decade, so it really defines summer for me. But with the virus, I didn't want to go to parks to train anymore. We just didn't know how this was spread. So I was exploring my very hilly North Seattle neighborhood, and as I was huffing and puffing up a set of stairs, I remembered the Seattle Stairway foot tour, and this was a route that took all the major staircases. Major means those staircases that have 100 steps or more, and it puts them in a point-to-point route that takes you all through Seattle. I thought, well, that would be perfect. It would be a great way to explore the city. I could break it up into shorter sections, which would be better for my foot. I could totally maintain social distancing, and it would give me a great fitness goal and be an adventure. And so I was able to talk to some friends and Coach Leslie into joining me on this trek, and we began.
When I first mentioned it to you, what did you think?
When you first mentioned it, I thought, oh yes. That's all I thought, yes.
In whatever
and
form.
Bring it on. I thought it sounded like a really cool idea, given that, there's no events going on. People needed a goal, something to look forward to. Just something that I knew you and I, even if it was just the two of us, would have fun doing. We've always liked exploring stairs, so why not? And it was even better than I would have expected. I saw more of the city and surrounding areas than I've ever seen. And I loved the back alleys and these little hidden places. And I was sitting and talking to someone yesterday and saying we had gone all the way from, Alki to over to Seward Park area, and then up by Magnuson and back around and up to Queen Anne. And it's just a pretty cool event and adventure.
Oh, the sound of me like huffing and puffing.
Where did the idea for the original Stairway foot tour come from? Turns out that all the staircases in Seattle, and there's more than 600 of them, have always generated a fair bit of interest.
So I was interested in the big stairs. I followed Doug Byerling's criteria for the stairways. Years ago when I started exploring them, I was doing a lot of ultra training, and I couldn't always get out to the mountains.
Right.
Or I felt I'm like an environmentalist, so I have a certain amount of guilt
To drive out to
driving.
the trailheads, right?
Yeah, driving. At that point in time, I live even farther away from the mountains now, but driving 45 minutes to an hour each way, and then if I didn't put in a good full day or full couple hours worth of work or running,
right.
then I felt bad. So really, and it was a way that instead of driving 2 hours each, 2 hours and then running for a couple hours, I could just walk out my door and just put in some elevation in the city and sort of very as a surrogate for technical trails, because stairs are always there.
Well, I love that it pulls together people like you come from the ultra running background, people who just like to hike or want to walk around the city. I mean, anybody can do it. That's partly why it appeals so much to me. When was the first time that you put it together for you? It was 2014, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 2014. It's all very foggy at this point in time.
Right.
Yeah, we tried. It took a while. I was thinking about it for a while. I think 2014 was the first go we had at it. It was kind of a smaller group. We didn't finish. Yeah, and it's a hard 15 miles. You know, it's a hard.
It's incredibly hard.
100K, yeah. It's like, and the intention was, I don't know why, it was, I thought, I need a lot of time to do it, and the best time to do it would be like, safely, would be like when there's more daylight, right? So, I had this idea to do it on the solstice, and so that gives you the most daylight, and so starting from like sunrise.
No, I think it's a great idea.
To sunset, but I mean, really, you can do it anytime.
Oh, you've got too many toes. Yes, you do. You've got too many toes.
Are these your stairs? I think so.
Why would stairs be useful? There's a lot of different reasons. One is if you can't get into a gym, such as now if you're quarantined due to COVID, or you just don't like going to a gym. It's a great way to get some strength in. You can get a high intensity workout in a short amount of time. So also if you're somebody that just doesn't have much time to get a workout in, but you want to get something of quality, they can be a great thing to use. All of us, or most of us, have stairs around our house that you could use if the weather's terrible and you don't have any other alternatives. Or they can be a fun way to connect, neighborhoods like we did, or even just connect routes you already know, or break up the monotony of running and try something totally different and a fun adventure. Everybody that did this adventure this summer came back saying they couldn't believe how much stronger they got.
Which one was that? That one?
It was at the base of a set of stairs. There was stairs. Yeah.
Another value of stairs, or reason to do them, is if you're a hiker, if you're a mountaineer, if you're a climber, it doesn't have to be just strength for running. It can be strength for anything. We ran across a lot of people with packs on, going up and down, getting ready to climb Mount Rainier. But it saves time. You don't have to drive out to a trailhead, but you can still cover the same type of elevation and get those same benefits close to home. So where do people use stairs, or how do you work it into your routine? Some people use it in their house, and they'll do several repetitions of stairs. Then they'll add in a strength circuit, some push-ups, some sit-ups, maybe some dips on the stairs, things like that, and then do a few more repetitions. It's a great way to get a high intensity workout. You can do them different speeds, you can do them forward, you can do them sideways. Other people will find some in their neighborhood and they might walk or run to them, do a couple repetitions, keep running, do another set, things like that, incorporate them that way. And yeah.
They're great. We love stairs, right?
Yeah, we do love stairs. We think they're exciting because we find them all over, and make people laugh because we can find them all over. I think it's worth mentioning that we were super lucky and privileged to be able to do this stair run. We went to neighborhoods all over our city. Often we wouldn't go there by ourselves necessarily, but we didn't have the same fear doing these runs that the average Black American would have walking out of their house. It really hit us hard that Ahmaud Arbery was killed in February, and he was killed while he was running. And that just kind of caught me off guard. And then not a couple weeks into this stair adventure, George Floyd was killed. And that again was just another reminder of how lucky we are.
So the route that we ended up doing in 2020, it's the route for this year, this month practically, because you just never know what's going to change on the route. We had gone to scout one out and it was fine. 2 weeks later when we came through, it closed. You just never know what you're going to find on the stair route. So the best part is, if you look around, there's always going to be another stair. The city is always in the process of rehabbing them or changing them out, so they can be closed, but then they can reopen as different. They might have fewer stairs, or might have more stairs, you just never know. I love it. I just love it. As we started to explore, what became so apparent, and which I knew, is that some neighborhoods in Seattle have so many stairs. They are settled at an earlier time, so the car wasn't as prevalent, and everywhere you look there's another staircase, so that was pretty exciting. trying to fit them all in. And anytime we went by, we were going from major staircase to major staircase, but if we would go by and there would be a shorter one, we'd put that one in. Just, here we are, why not? And those stairs are all different vintage. You'll see this one is a newer staircase, and it was redone probably in the last 5 years, and you can tell by the handrails. And it's very nice and even stairs. Some of them, you just can't even believe how topsy-turvy they look. And some of the handrails are repurposed building materials for when the trolleys used to be there. I really enjoy seeing the history laid out in the handrails and the stairs. So I'm a runner, and I have been running the streets of Seattle for over 20 years now. And even though I know the city pretty well because of that, everybody has their own favorite route. And you just kind of focus and you just go. There's a route that I've run over the years that goes right by I-5 freeway. And this staircase is on the historic register, believe it or not, and it used to be much longer. But when they put in I-5, the lower section of stairs was lost. It is such a stately historic staircase that thousands drive by every day. And I'm sure countless people walk by every day and never even notice. And I really enjoy that secret kind of hidden side of Seattle that if you just keep your eyes open and keep looking around, you'll see all kinds of staircases.
Stairs are fun, as we all know, or at least will learn if you start to do any of the stairs we're recommending. But remember, they're also hard, and they take a lot more strength than just plain running or walking. And when you get tired, often your form can change, and form is really important when it comes to stairs to protect our knees, to use our hips, and just for the overall workout. So you want to be mindful of your form when you're climbing stairs or when you're descending. You want to think about making sure you're not hunched over, staring at your feet. Yes, you want to look where you're going, but as much as you can, you want to look up. When your head is up and extended, it can also help with your hip extension. When you come up a stair, you want to make sure you step and get full hip extension to use your glutes. So you don't want to stay in kind of a squat position the whole time. Another thing you want to think about is your calves. It's really common to stay on your toes and be on the edge of a stair, and that can overwork your calves if you're not careful. So make sure your whole foot is planted on the step before you come up. You can mix up stress on your legs going upstairs by walking either up sideways, using all one side for part of it, all another side for some. If it's a wide staircase, you can actually go up kind of at a diagonal and make a zigzag. Another trick can be that if you are new to stairs and you want to, you can use hiking poles and use them both coming up or coming down, because they can just take a little bit of the stress off your knees and off your legs.
Okay, so the first day was so excited about doing the stair run, and it was over in West Seattle, and I just went after those stairs probably too fast in the beginning, and by the end of the run my knee was swollen and it hurt, and so I had to pull back and I couldn't do all the runs. I ended up going to a sports medicine doctor, and it really came down to form. I wasn't necessarily using the right muscles when I was climbing the stairs, so it was all going to my knee. So good news is I just have to do some physical therapy, and I need to follow the coach's instructions in the future.
What instructions were those?
Well, I need to do some of my strength exercises.
I feel like I'm in pretty good shape when I go out for a road run, and when I go out for a stair run, the effort is so different. How do you describe that?
You can't necessarily just run it. I mean, it's a lot more, like I said, technical. It's humbling. It really is. So, you think you're going to run it and you're not necessarily.
That way. Hubris. The hubris of the road runner.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, and it just changed. The other thing is it forced me to slow down and actually look around and smell the lilacs, which is my favorite flower.
Would you do it again?
Absolutely. I have the whole map still, and for the parts that I missed, I'm going to go back and do them. But first, I'm going to do all of my training to strengthen my muscles and my core, so I'm ready.
Who are you again?
Oh, so I'm your husband. I'm Keith. And so, yes, I was one of the first people to hear about this idea. As you were spending hours and hours on your computer and playing with Google Maps.
It was awesome though, wasn't it?
It was. It was all time well spent.
Did it surprise you what I ended up with?
Yeah, it did. I mean, I didn't know that much about where this had come from and what the original, course or event was. Of course, I knew that there were lots of staircases in Seattle. I didn't realize there were that many, and sort of all the places that it would take us, going around to find them all, or most of them.
Felt like all of them.
It felt
right?
like all
felt
of
like
them.
all of
Yeah.
them.
To me, that was maybe the best part of this whole thing is seeing all of these neighborhoods. We've been runners here for 20 plus years. We've ran in neighborhoods here that we'd never seen before, and a lot of fun just to get up and go discover some different areas this close to home. We all knew that we live in an amazing city, and we're fortunate to live in one of the most beautiful places in the world, and this was a great way to take advantage of it.
Hi, I'm Cheryl. The stair tour was awesome. I'm going to miss the very last section, which sucks, but it was super fun. The best part is just meeting the group of people to be at the place and do the run together. The stairs are great. Felt like I got really good strength from it in way better conditioning than I would have gotten on my own just doing a loop run 6 miles or whatever. So.
Hi. You can still slow down on something. So pretty. All the runners too, right? Huh? What'd you think of the stairs?
Well, I've learned when there's stairs, there's hills. Typically, we had to run up or down.
Multiple times, right?
But again, so many different kinds of different stairs.
That's
Yeah.
right.
One of the things as a coach that I loved about the stair run for myself and for my clients was that it was a way to put some fun into fitness for the summer. Due to COVID, all the events are canceled. There's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of fear. We can't do kind of our normal big group runs, but we were able to be spaced out. And just this idea of meeting people, once every few weeks or once a week to go explore, at your own pace and kind of doing your own thing, but all at the same time experiencing the same thing was just a super fun way to make the best of something.
Oh, I'm up for an adventure, and anything with this group is always looking I'm looking forward to it. So I didn't know what to expect, but I was definitely in from the beginning.
Tell me about bringing your mom along.
Oh, that was special. I'm probably gonna try and do the rest of it with her and Shelly at some point. She's an adventurer as well and loves to run and hike and walk. So she was hooked on some of the routes. So yeah, I'd love to show her the one through Madrona neighborhood. This finishing route was superb, even though it was an overcast day. It was still a beautiful part of town. So.
Huh. Anything to add?
2021 edition. Let's go. 2020 edition.
We made it!
Good job, guys.
So the 85 stairways, it's kind of hard to tell that those are major. It's a little loosey-goosey about how you define some of these. So I found a couple that were 99 steps. We had to put those in. Sometimes they're continuous, and sometimes they're not. So the best part about the Stairway route is you can make it what you want. It is definitely a choose-your-own-adventure sort of thing. You could put these staircases in a completely different setup, adding in lots of extra ones, and you see a completely different set, and you see the city from a completely different point of view. That's the best part.
Come here, Gigi. Come here, baby. Hi, hi.
So now I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the map. Maybe we should do all stairs that are like 75 and above. I
was thinking 50 or above.
That's what I was thinking, 50 too. I'll start looking into it because I
think it's so awesome.
That is the fun of Seattle stairs. And some of the other cities have more than Seattle. Pittsburgh, I'm looking at you. San Francisco, Portland, Oregon has quite a few as well. So we're very lucky here in Seattle, but I look for stairs now anywhere I go.